Hello, I am Bookface, and I'm going to warn you now, this video may seem a little odd. So, let me share with you how the idea for this video came about. So just imagine it. I was asleep in my bed, just normally chilling, relaxing. That's the way to, yes, that's how I sleep, very chill and relaxed when I sleep. But suddenly, I woke up in the middle of the night, and there was one question in my mind that I remembered from sleep that I just could not get out of my head. Something that just grabbed hold of my mind and would not let go. Do worms feel joy? And yes, of course, this random intrusive thought had to be a video. Truly inspired. So let's answer this definitely very important question. So first of all, for this, we're going to have to define what exactly happiness is, neurologically speaking, since worms can't exactly express to us that they're happy. They don't have teeth, so they can't smile. I wonder what a smiling worm would look like. Now, right away, this question is a lot more complicated than you might initially think, because you're like, oh, well, happiness, it's something that's obvious. But is it now? It's not obvious for me, that's why I had to see a psychiatrist.
I am depressed.
Since happiness is a fairly subjective and isn't really solidly measurable by like a machine or something, it's kind of tricky to explain what actually causes happiness. And if you look up what is happiness, the answers typically go in a number of different directions, ranging from philosophical reasoning to flat out religion. But since I'm not aware of any worm churches or worm philosophers, though I'd love to see those, that doesn't necessarily mean much to our question. So we're kind of, what? Do worms have Jesus? That was so genuine. Why was I so genuine when I said that? But while there are multiple complex things that explain the more complex reasoning of happiness, if we look at it from a biological standpoint, it's pretty fair to measure, actually. And most scientists measure happiness and mood right back to that sweet, sweet serotonin called 5-hydroxyptimac. Yep, that's how you say it. I wish I had serotonin.
Where's the
Serotonin.
Lebowski? You want them?
Serotonin.
Lebowski. Bunny says you're good for it. Where's the
Serotonin.
It's down there somewhere. Let me take another look.
Serotonin is present in the digestive system, blood, and of course, the brain. Along with its psychological functions though, serotonin also contributes to blood clotting and digestion in your appetite. Okay, so now we've at least somewhat determined at least what our measurement of, quote, happiness is gonna be in this little... Is this a thought experiment? Am I a thought? Now, let's see if it's possible, based on, our standards, for a worm to feel the emotion of happiness. Do they have joy in their heart? I'd hope so. They've got 5 of them, apparently. So, in their hearts, I guess is the question. We're learning so many new things today. Well, it's undeniable that animals as a whole typically feel emotions. Worms are very simple organisms, so it's kind of tricky to determine if they can as well. Worms lack a large number of organs, and, well, because of that, my initial question was, do worms have brains? And you might think that is dumb, but, jellyfish don't have brains. There are animals with no brains. But worms are incredibly smart. No, they're not. But they do, in fact, have a brain, which is one point in the favor of happiness. Additionally, it's notable that its brain and nervous system are also complex enough to feel pain. So remember that if you go fishing. And the brain is actually a primitive version of the two-lobe brain, like more intelligent creatures, like a person. That's not saying worms are as smart as people, but they are smarter than you'd expect, I guess. Maybe. You might have a very high view of worms. I don't know. Helping even further, worms do indeed produce serotonin. So, is that it? They feel happiness because they make serotonin? Well, as stated before, while serotonin is mostly noted to have links to emotion and mood, it does do other things in the body that have to do with digestion and circulation. And these are actually kind of different kinds of serotonin in the body, and they're non-transferable. Serotonin that's used for your digestion can't be used for your brain. So if you're producing serotonin in your digestive system, then you can still digest stuff with the serotonin, but that's not happiness. So now the question goes to, where is serotonin produced in the body of a worm? Well, scientists observed that worms with serotonin show an increased movement and tendency to lay eggs when serotonin is high. More motivation to bang, I guess.
Let me smash.
Which also makes sense because serotonin is typically related to sexual function as well. There was no not awkward way I could say that. But that therefore means that this serotonin is produced in the brain, pushing forward its functions and working more on its habits and activities. So yes, this serotonin is produced in the brain. So, well, it still isn't entirely clear, and I don't really know what would make a worm happy. It is, I feel fairly confident in saying that worms can indeed feel joy. But now the only question is, what are worms happy about? That will probably remain unsolved. So yeah, this was a kind of random video for my mostly scientific series. I don't know why I came up with this or why I decided it was so important to like move a bunch of videos around to schedule it, but I had a lot of fun. If you also had fun, let me know. And if you have any other weird zoology questions like this, let me know. I might do a video. I feel like this one, even though it's less useful, was kind of entertaining. If you like this video, please have a thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribe. Let me know if you like worms, and I'll see you next time. Bye!